Hi everyone, welcome to my channel or welcome back. My name is Sandra and I'm the owner and creator here at Midwest Charm. Just in case you haven't met him yet, this is Larry. He is our quality control manager. He came in here to get snacks, not to be on TV today. You will see him a lot of times while I'm working, and he inspects everything to make sure I'm doing a good job. Sometimes he leaves paw prints. Just the way it goes. It's a good thing I use safe things. Anyways, we are a small storefront in Pine City, Minnesota, where we offer all of your DIY needs. We have DIY paint, Sweet Pickins milk paint, Roycycled treasures, Connie lines and designs, Iron Orchid designs, and more. Plus, we have all sorts of good gifts and, we also have all the repurposed, upcycled, beautiful home decor and furniture that you could ever dream of, all in one little storefront. You can also find us on all social medias. I just ate a snack too. I'm so sorry. As well as our website. Everything's linked below in the description, as well as all of the items that I use in today's video. You guys, I'm doing one of my favorite flips. I love to do jewelry boxes, and I haven't done any for a while because we host classes, and when I have classes, we hoard them and then let you pick from our stash to flip. So that's why I haven't done any in a while. So I thought it is the perfect time of year to flip a jewelry box because they make wonderful gifts. They go from this outdated piece to something beautiful and magical. And I love embellishing them and making them beautiful. And today's results are no different. They turned out amazing. Please stick through to the end so you guys can see the finished results. Let me know which one you like the best. And if you're local and interested in this class, make sure to come in and say something or hit us up here or on our Facebook to let us know you're interested. So when I am planning those classes, I know exactly if I should do 2 next year or 3 next year, or how to schedule those out. So we tend to do a lot of classes in the wintertime to kind of fulfill that need to get out, and cabin fever in the Midwest is real. So let's get going with today's video. So these are the 2 jewelry boxes that we are going to upcycle today. And the colors I am using is Cowgirl Coral and Kissing Booth and some White Swan. I'm going to be doing a lot of blending on these. So you'll see me using my Mr. Butter bottle. And you guys, this Kissing Booth was so dried out and chunky. I have really needed the Mr. Bottle. And you'll see me use it probably more on this particular jewelry box than the other one. I also do, I think, like 2 coats and then some touch up, and then I seal it. And I did not get the sealing on the video. So for that, I did use, before I added the transfers, I used, oh my gosh, you guys, my brain is not functioning today. I'm so sorry. Liquid patina for that. So I am just kind of going in with randomness on my brush. Some straight Kissing Booth, some mix of it, a little bit of straight white, not a lot, but there's parts where I'm using more white than I'm using of the pink, and I do leave the drawers in for the first part of the blending here, and I do take them out and finish up the sides and like the wood lips and stuff on them, and then I do open this and do the inside as well, all around the edges and that top part. And then on my jewelry boxes, I also paint the backside, and I do go directly over the hinges. And I've always done this, so I've never had any issues with that. And you guys, I will link all the products that I use below, all of the paint and anything else that I end up using. I absolutely love flipping jewelry boxes. It's one of my favorite things to do. They sell in our store really super fast. It's been a while since I've done any because we also do classes on how to do these in the store. And so we will collect from thrift stores jewelry boxes and then do the class, and then I have to build up my stash again. So this is these are two that were left over from the last class we had for this, and I finally decided to bring these back home and give them a makeover. So it's all dry, and that's key when you are doing blending. You want to make sure that that first coat is dry, because if you go over that first coat with that second coat when you're blending, because you are doing a lot more brushing on there, you will pull up some of that initial base coat. So make sure it's completely dry. My boo-boo on this one is I did go in with that solid pink because I knew I was getting low, and tried to do like the center portion of all of these, all of the sides, and it does get a little bit harder for me to blend, so I do have to use my Mr. bottle quite a bit more, and it did pull up a little bit, so heed that advice, if you will, to not do it that way. Another do as I say, not as I do. It does turn out in the end, and I just have to use my Mr. bottle a little bit more, and just be a little bit more. I mean, I'm going in with a light hand anyways, but I had to be even more light-handed than I typically would be when doing blending, just because I didn't want to pull anything up. Oh, you guys, this turned out so stinking cute. I can't wait for you guys to see the pictures at the end. I love blending like this too. It just makes it have a little bit more dimension instead of just being a flat color and just being, I don't know, I don't want to say blah, but it just gives it a lot more movement and interest. And I don't know, they just super cute. And I do the same thing with the second one, and I leave the pink on the plate and use a little bit of that too. So it actually was perfect to go with that coral. And I do on my jewelry boxes typically will paint over the jewelry when it's the little poles like this, or over the, not the jewelry, oh my gosh, you guys, the handles. Just because it's really, really hard to tape those off, and really, really hard to go around them and not get them at all. And DIY is really easy to clean up, so I can, but I also don't mind doing it because I typically go over them at the end with like rub and buff or wax, so they always stand out even with it being painted. So, and they get sealed in just like everything else, so it all looks so cohesive at the end. You'll have to let me know, what you think, if I should, on my next batch, like try to go around them and take that extra time doing these, or if you like how it turns out. With this method too, you may get like some fine brush strokes with the different colors in it. I know when this one dries, there is a little bit of white, like brush strokes on one part of it, that even the 8-year-old was like, oh, did you mean to leave that part white right there? And yes, I did, because it just looks so cool having that. And I did part of this first coat, you guys, without recording it, but it's very much the same way I did that first one. So this is Cowgirl Coral. And again, I did mostly on this one, I did mostly the coral for the base coat, knowing that I'd be going over it with the mixture on that second coat. And you guys, the yellow inside, not the best color, but I figured this coral would help maybe tamper that down a little bit. I know I could paint / dye it with this DIY paint, but not my thing. So I usually just clean up the felt and leave it. And like I said, I do the backs on these, or at least I think I said. And you see me here going in with some white and mixing in some of the other color. There you go. And I'm just putting it on the second coat here. And I'm getting some of that pink in there and some of that white and just blending it all in. And this is probably a more subtle blend than that first one, but it's definitely there, and you can definitely see little bits of pink and little bits of white in the finish, and I love it. Now this one too, when you open it, there is a mirror inside, so I do have to work around that, and that was not easy, but I did it. And again, you see me here using, needed a little bit more pink, but I used that Mr. bottle just to get that to go a little bit further, that pink that I was just about out of. Now, if you get any of this on that mirror, DIY paint can be reactivated with water, so no fretting. You can go in with a wet paper towel or a baby wipe and just wipe it off when you're all done. I only had a little bit on there, which was great, and then I do go around the edge of that mirror with some gold rub and buff just to hide the unfinished edge of the mirror, which was like that when I got the piece. So it's not like something that has to be done. I just wanted it a little bit more finished. And heck, I'm always looking to add gold onto these because they're so pretty, and embellishing them is part of the fun. And you probably can't even tell, but it's there. All right, you guys, you can see me finishing up this drawer. And I was going to speed this up even more than what it is. And I decided to keep it in there at the 2x speed instead of like a 4x, just to give you guys a little bit more. I'm using a Lover of Flowers on the coral one. And then I'm using Painterly Florals on the pink one. I've been trying to finish up my open ones here before I grab any more from the store. And I knew exactly which ones. Look at that. How perfect does that floral there go with that color? And you see that little bit hanging off the edge. No worries. I do take that, cut it off, and save it. And I add it into that little swig so that I'm not losing a good little bud there. And on those edges, you can see it kind of hanging over. I do go down and apply that, and it's just a matter of using the little corner of the tool that comes with it, or my fingernails, which I tend to do quite a bit, you guys, and just kind of rubbing it down slowly, going across so that it all lays flat and there's no wrinkles in there. And then I just pull the rest of this off. The vellum comes up really easy, but if you ever pull up a piece of the transfer on that vellum, you just lay it back down and then rub it until it stays down. And here I am adding that extra piece in there. And then you do go in and burnish it and just make sure all those air bubbles are out. I decided to take this other peachy rose and put it on the inside. And I know this was really hard to film and be able to show you guys how I did this. So hopefully you catch it here. I did a little bit of trimming on the stem to get it to fit the way I wanted to. And this does go partially onto the mirror and partially on the wood. And you see I kind of go right in on that edge there because it's going to kind of break that transfer up so it'll lay flat for me. And then I'm going to do the part that sits on the mirror first, because that part will then loosen up and I'll be able to get in and finish the other part without it breaking anymore. And then I'm going right over the hardware as well. And then I just continue to go around this piece. And then I'm just really, really careful about burnishing this in. And then I decide to put the poem that matches it onto the back. And it fits perfectly. This part's a little bit more tedious than the bigger floral pieces, but it still is a pretty quick finish. All right, and then this piece will get sealed up. I don't believe that I showed that, but I do a final top coat to seal in these pieces. I did not use wax on these. I know, shocking, but I did get these sealed up. I ended up going over them with the liquid patina for the top coat. And here we go. I'm just going to cut apart some roses, and then I'm going to use the leaves too. And here you can see the variances in the paint with the blending, where I got some more white on them. And this is partially why I typically like to keep the drawers in, but they were wet at that point and I really couldn't, because you can see where the white is really separated from the pink instead of it being kind of flowing together. But it's okay, because most of that part that is not like equal gets covered. I just used a Cricut tool here to kind of cut the transfer on that drawer. You can use an X-Acto knife, which is what I typically use, but for some reason it's not on my table and I don't know who moved it. But then I'm just going to go ahead and get this all applied down. So when I'm doing a corner like this, you'll see me pull it almost all the way up to the edge. Then I fold it down and it will almost always just immediately pop like it just did. And I will apply the rest of that, and then I make sure to burnish on this. I will burnish over the hardware because that transfer did go on the hardware as well. And then again, I'm going to cut where those drawers are. I'm going to use my finger to burnish down those little edges. And here I am doing the sides of the drawer. And then I also add more to the top and to like the side and back. So this piece is getting a lot, and you'll have to keep watching to see how I do a corner. So we're adding this one to the top. Once I get a general idea of where I want it, I pull out a leaf so I know where I want that. Apply the leaf first because I want to layer it so that it looks like it's natural. And then I'm going to go back in with the flower after that's applied. And again, we're going to rub down the front little lip part where it goes over. And that plastic will, the vellum plastic will just pop up. And then we'll do the back the same way. Get that all applied, and then it pops up like that. And then we just finish it up. And again, we will burnish this down to make sure all of the air bubbles are out. And then we're going to add one more. And I knew I wanted this one kind of to hang off of the bottom. So I applied my leaf first. Burnish that. And then I'm going to apply the flower next. And this does kind of hang off the bottom, so I will go in and cut part of that off. and save that part, you guys. Save it. Now, I'm going to apply this part. But if you can tell, there's like the corner there. So when it pops up, I go in and apply down what is left on there. But it's going to leave a bare spot, like right on the corner. So you're going to take the piece that you cut off and just kind of go in with my finger and apply it to blend and camouflage it in, and you can't even tell that it was done that way. Look. How cute is that? But now the final touches. Rub and buff. I believe this is antique gold, and I just use a brush to apply it. You can use your finger. I usually wear a glove if I'm going to do that because this stuff is not easy to get off. And I'm just going to go over, I started by going over just the high parts of the handles and the edges, and then I decided, I'm going to do the whole handle. And then I was just going to do part of the edges, like it's kind of distressed with that gold. And then I decided to go through, do the whole little edge there. There's just like a little edge, and I went through and did that on the top and the bottom. And then a little bit on the corners of those drawers, just to make it look like gold had worn through. And then on this one, we're going to do I'm going to take a plain brush, little artist brush, and really go over the part that's on that handle because there's so much texture in there, and I want to make sure that it's all burnished in there. So I use the brush to really burnish it in, and then I go back in and do the handles, and then all of the little edges in gold, and then just kind of do little touches here and there just to give it some shine. And I do go over the hardware as well. And this one, I do believe I do the whole hinge on the inside. And it turns out just the sweetest. And then I just go ahead and seal this up, and I go right over those gold embellishments with my sealer. The rub and buff does dry really fast, so that's not an issue with the water-based. And you guys, I have some pictures for you for the follow-up here. Please let me know which one you like, if there's something you would have done different, or if you're going to try this yourself. And if you're local, you guys, watch for an upcoming class on how to do these. We provide everything you need. What did you think? You guys, which one was your favorite one? Have you ever flipped a jewelry box? Do you plan to? I'm so excited to hear what you guys thought of today's video. It's been a while since I've done jewelry boxes, and I love sharing them. I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It really helps a small little business like mine, as well as hitting that like button down there and that little subscribe button down there. It's free to subscribe. You don't have to do anything other than click that button. And we really appreciate it. I don't have a favorite this week. I love them both. Surprise, surprise. I love them both. And I know they are going to be out of the store super fast. So if you see this, I'm not going to bring them in until probably Thursday. So if you see this and you're local, you guys hit me up immediately because they will go before the week is out. Thanks for watching again, everyone, and we'll see you next time. Bye.